I don't know. It's not the people of Boston aren't quite as happy as the people in Minnesota, especially now they get to point and be like at Rafi Devers. They traded him a few weeks ago, and they are pointing to the fact that Rafi Devers still has some bad habits that he can't quite that he transferred over from Boston. It was reported by Will Clark himself that Rafi Devers no-showed a few appearances for pregame first base training.
Interesting, especially, coming into a new team, I feel like new team or not, you're gonna want to show your teammates that you care and you're accountable, and especially coming, middle of the season, not being accountable and not really giving too much of a hoot. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, in Rafi's defense, the series was in Boston, so I don't know. I feel like I think he didn't want to stoke any ill will because it was a constant battle between him and the new front office about where he was going to play. Well, he was going to be the third baseman. Actually, Rafi, can you DH? We signed Alex Bregman. They lose their first baseman. It's like, Rafi, can you actually play first base for us now? I'm sorry, we are kind of jerking you around and whatever. It's like, Rafi's just like, no, like, I want to play a position. Like, tell me which position I'm going to play. And like, I don't know if Will Clark organized it and Rafi didn't know, or Rafi was like, yeah, I'll be there, and then just didn't show up at all that weekend because Will Clark claims there was three instances that weekend he didn't show up, but it's just a weird. It was obviously everybody was piling on Rafi because of what happened in Boston, but we'll
Mhm.
see. Like, because I he don't know. said with the Giants, like, yeah, I'll play first base if they need me to. Like Buster Posey, I'm sure it's different if they tell him what position he's gonna play, and then he's gonna play there full time.
Just a yeah, interesting dynamic to that with, they happen to be playing in Boston when things kind of went down. So, I see his reasoning behind it, but at the same time, you're new to this ball club and, you want to earn your teammates' trust and respect, and that's not the way to do it. Just me saying what I see.
Right. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like you'd watch your guy out there working hard and doing that, but I don't know. His choice. He's the one making all the money, and he's the big leaguer. We're not.
Let's move a little, I guess, I don't know if it'd be west or east, or I guess east back to central United States here, and talk about the Twins, who have started they've been starting to pick up a little bit. I had a nice week here. You and I talked about it last time that it'd be nice to take in these 3 game series, take two of these games, and they've been doing that. They beat Paul Skeens last week, and in a really good pitching performance by Joe Ryan. Byron Buxton hit for the cycle last week on his own bobblehead day, not to mention. I think that, yeah, took the series over a really good Rays ball club last week, and hey, all of a sudden, hey, things are starting to look up a little bit.
Yeah, it's so funny. The Twins have started 0-2 and they're 2-0, excuse me, in their last three series. Still hasn't gotten a sweep. But like if you look at it, it's a good Rays team. It's a great Cubs team, and then you got Pirates with Paul Skeens, and you can win all three of those series. You're looking up because it's winning series, and that's important. And like being able to do that uptrend. And then if you look next, it's the All-Star break, and then we return to the All-Star break with the Rockies. So we got a great opportunity to stay hot.
We'll be looking good coming into a homestand with the Nationals and Red Sox coming to town to finish out July. Series with the Rockies here, I really feel like this is kind of a must sweep series. The Rockies,
They are able to build momentum into some big series, like obviously the Dodgers in LA is obviously one you get up for and get excited for, but then they have an easier schedule going down the break, and like I think they're looking forward to that. And like they're a very streaky team, and when you have easy schedule, that bodes well for streaky teams. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the
Vez
season.
Ravine against the loaded LA Dodgers for 3 games. I
Right.
mean, this is when the playoff teams start to kind of hit their stride, and through August, and you can really tell which teams are serious about making it around the postseason. So this is going to be very big. And as of late, the pitching staff has been outstanding. I just saw a stat here yesterday about pitching staff's ERA through the first few months of the season. And then in June, it was up to like four something, where it was in 2-3 range first 2 months. now we're back in the twos. So being able to get quality innings from our bullpen and our starters has been huge. Joe Ryan's been throwing it really well lately, and he deserves to be an all-star. Great to see he is one tonight. Hey, we even saw your guy Simon Woods Richardson put together a few nice games here. So things are starting to look good here.
Yeah, it's they had a really bad month of June, and everybody knows it. And it was one of the biggest outliers because it's like consistent, and then they bounce back after June. So hopefully they keep June behind them and keep bouncing back because it was a bad month, and that's just kind of and we're not. Hopefully they don't let that bad month sink their season. But you know what? Something else that we saw this week was during the Cubs series, we saw a players only broadcast. We saw a three-man booth of Trevor Plouffe, Justin Morneau, and Glenn Perkins. Pablo even joined the booth for the game on Tuesday, and I think that is very interesting and like maybe not something I want to see every game, but like fun little experiments to pull out every now and again.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, for years, Dick Raymer and Bert Blyleven, they ran the booth up there. And, no disrespect to Corey Probus, he does a great job. I mean, he did radio for how many years? But, something with Corey, he's still being relatively new to the TV game, having opportunity to have three former players up there and really kind of, I mean, it gives, fans a different view into what players are thinking during games. And so like with Glenn Perkins, I mean he was a couple time All-Star, pitcher for the Twins. Like what's he thinking when he's on the mound? So in in different situations. So I think that's a really cool aspect.
Yeah, I think it helps for the Twins to have all of those players who are good broadcasters in their own right. Like Morneau is a really good broadcaster. Perkins can do a really good broadcast. And like I think it only works because of their abilities to be good broadcasters. And I don't know. And like you have them kind of lead it. They know what they're doing. They've experienced TV broadcasting before and like have a good point of view about it.
Something that's probably one of the coolest things I've noticed is you know there's sometimes where you have just fans of the sport kind of up there, especially lower level stuff. Guys will kind of ramble. Well, these guys know what they're talking about, and obviously they play in the big leagues, but they're sharing what they see and what they would do. Something really cool. Something I compare to like the Manning cast with Monday Night Football, which I mean that's also partially comedy too, but
No, exactly. And Dalton, was that a shot at me when you say some announcers ramble?
no, not at all.
No, I think no, they did a really good job, and like I think it helps to like have experienced TV people doing it too. And it's like you see weird stuff. Fortunately, this wasn't a players during the players only broadcast, but we saw a challenge because the Pirates were challenging whether or not the ball got lodged underneath the wall. Yeah, it was weird because the Pirates guy could easily pick it up. Like, so they awarded Willie Castro another base because they said the ball got lodged under the wall, but the Pirate Willie won. Willie didn't run to second base. So he basically got a free 90 feet. And two, the Pirates guy just had to fumble with it a little bit, but it's not like it was extreme enough where Willie could run to second. And it's just weird that that was a call to be made, and you don't see that all that often, if ever.
Mhm. Yeah, I oftentimes wonder, how some of those players react to that situation too. So that was probably a good thing for those guys because, different players react differently on the field. If I was a first baseman, I mean, I'd be yelling at my guy. And if you're an outfielder, you're probably, I don't know, type of thing. So,
Right. It was weird, but shout out to the umpire. He like explained the whole situation. One of the one of the benefits of having them mic'd up and like being able to use that mic during the game is they can explain situations because like you don't know what's going on as a fan. Like and like he almost got in a hot mic. He like said something, could hear it and turned it off before he started talking with Don Kelly about it. But yeah, it was just you don't see that, and we Twins got an extra 90 feet, so I'm not going to complain.
yeah, I'm also a big fan of Mike
Oh,
Dove stuff as well, just because there's so much stuff that goes on during a baseball game between players and umpires that most people don't even know. And until you put the mics on them, where you know, batters are talking to the umpires between pitches, like, "Oh, come on, Phil, where was that one?"
yeah.
And which I think that's the coolest thing in the world because I don't know if anyone out there has listened to Matt Antonelli on YouTube. he he has a lot of stuff about that and kind of life in the big leagues. And you know, for him, most people don't even realize that batters are t talking to umpires in the middle of the game in between pitches, and they're saying, "Oh, come on, Phil, that was a terrible call. Are you kidding me? That better be as far as you're going out tonight, there, Bob." Something that not a lot of fans realize that I find really cool.
Yeah, it's the key to arguing with umpires. Don't look at them. You can say whatever you
Mhm.
want as long as you're not looking at them.
Don't show them up. That's what Antonelli always said on there is, don't make it seem like you're showing them up, otherwise you're for sure getting tossed.